What is art? I mean, I feel like back in the golden days, you know, it was quite obvious. You painted something, you made a sculpture, but then came modernism and postmodernism, and suddenly just standing in the streets shouting, is that art? Who knows? Well, for those of you who know a lot about art, this will be your cup of tea. We have some really great art history questions here. So I hope that you have been reading up on your art history. There are 10 questions in this quiz, and we got a prize pot of 500 Mimir tokens. My name is Jeff, and I am very excited about this. Welcome to Mimir Quiz! Are you ready? I hope you are. Let's get started. Question number 1. Salvador Dalí is primarily associated with which art movement? Impressionism, Cubism, Surrealism, or Fauvism? Well, what do you think? Salvador Dalí. Well, Salvador Domingo Felipe Jacinto Dalí. Well, the correct answer here is Surrealism. Salvador Dalí, he is known for making one of his most famous pieces is the Melting Clocks. I bet most of you have seen it. Really surrealistic images as depicting very dreamlike scenarios. Now, I think he is really one of the coolest artists ever. Okay, well, let's move on to question number 2, people. Which period has a French name that translates to rebirth in English? Baroque, Romanticism, Renaissance, or Rococo? Well, what do you think? Which period has a French name that translates to rebirth? Well, I think most of you pulled this one off, perhaps. The correct answer is Renaissance. It's a period in European history marking the transition from the dark Middle Ages into modernity, covering from the 15th and the 16th centuries. So it's characterized by an effort to revive and surpass the ideas and achievements of the classical antiquity, going from that pesky dark ages into the modern age of thinking and nice ideas. Okay, how's it going? Have you found any art history books in your home yet? If not, there's time now. Okay, you got it? Well, let's go. Question number 3. Andy Warhol was shot 3 times in the chest. Who shot him? Brother John Warhola, rival Peter Dayton, soup can owner, or feminist Valerie Solanas? Shot 3 times in the chest. That's quite brutal, really. Now, the correct answer, perhaps you want to know it? Well, the correct answer is feminist Valerie Solanas. Now, Andy Warhol, he's famous for, he's been miscredited with the quote that in the future everybody will be famous, world famous for 15 minutes. Now, he was shot and almost killed in June 1968 in his studio, shot 3 times, but he actually died later after having a separate from this event. He died from when he had a gallbladder surgery. He later died of cardiac arrhythmia in February 1987. How sad. Tragic. Let's move on. Question number 4. Vincent van Gogh was an older brother who died at birth. Had an older brother who died at birth. What was his name? Vincent, Theo, Johann, or Luca? What do you think? I have an art piece that I'm working on myself here. So, I mean, you go ahead and you think and you answer that question, and we'll see. The correct answer here is Vincent. There we go. So, Vincent, they had the same name. Now, Vincent Wilhelm van Gogh, he was born on the 30th of March 1853 and died on the 29th of July in 1890. And now I'm talking about the famous Vincent van Gogh, the painter. A very, very productive painter, very famous. He created 2,100 artworks, including around 860 oil paintings, most of which date from the last 2 years of his life. Quite intense, I gotta say. Wow. Well, you know, I got my artwork. Let's move on. Question number 5. Are you ready? English artist Andy Brown created a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II using what? Tea bags, carrots, rice, or pasta? Now, this is a quite niched question here. Rather modern art, if you ask me. So, English artist Andy Brown created a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II using tea bags. How fitting. I think that's a quite clever idea. Perhaps I should make a portrait of the Swedish king using meatballs. That would be, or not the most charming look. I think tea bags look nicer. Okay, let's move on. Question number 6. What art movement was Yoko Ono associated with during the 1960s? Dadaism, Fluxus, Impressionism, or Futurism? I'll keep working on my artwork here. Let's see if I'll be able to pull it off in time. Something like that. There we go. Ooh, this is nice. This is nice. I hope you're holding up. Now, the correct answer here is Fluxus. Super weird movement. It was an international, interdisciplinary community. So, a community of artists, composers, designers, and poets during the 1960s and 1970s. They engaged in experimental art performances and events, and yeah, Fluxus is sometimes called intermedia. Lots of weird stuff. They came up with really how do you put it? Out of the thinking outside the box in what you can make art out of. Okay, so are you ready for the next question? I sure hope so. Let's go. Question number 7. What was the name of Andy Warhol's New York art studio? The lab, the firm, the garage, or the factory? So, Andy Warhol, quite a famous dude. Very colorful paintings and works. One of the most famous one is of the soup one. Tomato soup. Now the correct answer is the factory. Now the factory, it was the name of he had the studio in 3 different locations. He moved the studio. Now it was where was it? In New York on the 16th Street. That is where he was shot by Valerie Solanas in the question we mentioned before in 1968. He moved to another studio after that. Okay, yeah, how are we feeling? Let's keep the show rolling. You know, I'm feeling good. I'm liking this background we have here. Feels wavy. I'm feeling the room. Let's move on. Question number 8. What late 19th century French painter was known for his picture of ballet dancers? Paul Cézanne, Edgar Degas, Gustave Caillebotte, or Claude Monet? What do you think? What late 19th century French painter was known for his pictures of ballet dancers? What do you think? Well, I'll tell you what. The correct answer is Edgar Degas. He was born in 19th of July, 1834, and died the 27th of September in 1917. He's attributed to being one of the heavy figures when it comes to Impressionism. Although he didn't like it being called Impressionism. He didn't paint... Impressionism is often, you know, that you paint these very luscious outside environments, but he did this indoors work, painting the ballet dancers. Nice paintings. Okay, so the next one is a funny one. Question number 9. Which painting was hung upside down at the Museum of Modern Art for 46 days without anyone noticing? Was it Le Beteau, Le Bonheur de Vivre, Le Capucines or Le Toit de Caloure. How do you like my French? Well, you know, I'd say it's pretty good. No, it's not really very good. But I think this one makes up for a quite good story. So, the painting that was hung upside down at the Museum of Modern Art for 46 days was Le Beteau. Now, it wasn't. It was by mistake, actually. It was made by Henri Matisse. Now, I think the tech team here, we can show a picture of that painting. I think it's quite funny. Yeah, there we go. It's. I think it's funny because I really understand how that happened. You know, it's quite hard to see what is the correct side, up or down. But you know, so stranger things have happened. Right. Okay, let's move on to the final question. Question number 10. Who is credited as the designer of the many statues which decorated the Pantheon? The Parthenon, I mean. Praxiteles, Scopas, Hesiod, or Phidias? So, really classical art we're talking here. The art of the ancient Greece, the classical period. Great works, I would say, if I would review them today. The correct answer is Phidias. Really legendary sculptor. He is, you know, attributed to being one of the greatest sculptors of all time. Now, I made an artwork here. I feel like it's kind of modern art, really. I'm very happy for those of you who won this quiz. By the way, congratulations! I feel very happy when I get to hand out some Mimir tokens. Really great. I don't know, probably my boss will be mad at me for showing this, but this is the artwork that I made. It says poop, and it's modern art. So it's up to you to interpret it, really. Now, I hope you appreciate, you know, we can get more of this. No, we really shouldn't, you know. Why did I do this? I had a great time, people. I wish you a lovely day or evening or whatever it is for you. So, until next time, see ya.